just gonna say, whenever I gotta go for class, I'll probably just hop out so I don't interrupt the stream. I'll probably just disconnect.
Sure,
Okie
dude.
doke.
No problemo. Awesome quality is great. Just gonna hear my voice real quick. 1080p source. Excellent.
Oh, I have to mute Twitch. So. Wait, let me try something.
Yep, sounds good.
Reality capture, huh?
What? Oh, yeah. I try to find my dashboard on Twitch. Dashboard. Ah, it works. Okay.
No problemo. Everything good? Nothing showing that you don't want to show?
Well, it's fine.
Yeah.
PayPal is closed. That's the most important one. So let's
It's all
see.
good.
Sweet tweet.
Cool.
Let's
So,
try it again. Yeah.
We already have viewers trickling in, so I'm just going to refresh so I can see the viewer count and all that. And yeah, hello, welcome everyone. Today we have Philippe on deck again. He's being a real MVP for doing it twice in a row. It was very hard to find an artist for today, and he volunteered to do it again. So super thankful for that. We also have one of our mods in the chat right now, Harry Grenade. He'll be popping in for a bit before his next class. We do have Motown in the call, but he's currently AFK. He's with John in his office talking about something, so I'm going to try and grab one of them. But yeah, for now we have Philippe working on some more foliage. Anything in particular today, Philippe?
Not really breaking the program again. Because if I hit the button, it's crashing. And let me switch to the older version.
Yeah, SpeedTree 8 has been giving us some mostly weird issue. What was it again? There was an empty container when you export something.
If I export a
to
mesh, it's empty.
Very strange. So we're probably hopping back to SpeedTree 7 for this. But
pretty good on performance, the empty mesh, but yeah, not a lot to see.
Yeah, and also special thanks to the mods for trickling in on the chat too, for helping answer questions and just being around. Always a huge help. And yeah, we'll definitely get some questions underway shortly when the devs show back up. I can pitch some to them. For now, we can try and answer what we can from previous streams and knowledge and things like that. But yeah, I hope all of you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday. Very chilly over here in Canada land today. The weather's been up and down and all around, really. Crazy winter, and I can't wait for spring already. Speaking of spring, I can't wait to see the finished design of Philippe's environment stuff. He's been the master of vegetation and grass and things like that. If you've probably seen on Twitter, he's kind of the guy. Identity foliage test. Nice.
Yeah.
Man, so much software, so many things. It's all beyond me.
Let's try and build the light. Let's hope Twitch will handle this. Dropped frames. 60.
That's fine.
That's fine.
But yeah, this is Philippe's little playground of his previous stuff. You can see his gumball machine in the corner there, and I believe a cash register he did a while ago, something like that, or a computer. It's the thing with the screen.
Let's fly.
Nice. But yeah, really everyone's just working on getting stuff ready for Module 1. Very exciting. I'm sure that you've all seen Jade and other streamers daily almost going at it now for some guys. But yeah, super exciting time to be involved with this project. That guy looks pretty scary. A bit too close to him. So yeah, Philippe, what drew you to wanting to do modeling for environmental objects and vegetation? Because you definitely seem you have a knack for it.
That's a good question. I don't know. Character wasn't my thing. It was too boring for me. And props is okay sometimes, but I don't know. It's more interesting for me to make some grass and look at grass, how it looks, what kind of grass it is, and plants and rocks and cave walls and stuff like that. Because I like to go there in real life and look at it and make photos and take it back home as reference. That's really interesting.
Yeah, you're also pretty familiar with photogrammetry, as you've shown us in a previous stream.
I just have the machine right in front of me, one small version, and gluing it together right now.
It's awesome. But yeah, let me refresh again just to see the viewers because my Twitch is acting up. 46 already. I didn't even tweet this out. I will probably do so once the devs are around because right now we're just kind of chillaxing. But we'll definitely try and answer any questions you guys have that we can already, we are already equipped to answer. Be live with Philippe in a moment. Then I'll put the URL. But yeah, it's been busy around the office, let me tell you. Just working, from the moment we get in until we clock out at 5. Apart from lunch, of course. But it's Liam's working very hard on the new website. Andrew's going ham with Unreal. Archer's shown us some really cool stuff with the UI. We haven't talked a lot about what kind of UI we'll have and what kind of menus and designs we'll have for that sort of thing. I wonder if I can get you guys a sneak peek of that in the coming weeks, but it'll be really cool to show you guys that eventually. And also having Motown in the office has been a huge improvement. We can give people tasks extremely quickly and make sure everyone is on task, far easier than when he was working away from the office. So it is going much better. It's nice to see a boost in the workflow for sure. But yeah, the boys are busy in the office. Definitely, I know what's a really big topic that's been kind of prevalent in both the Discord and the I guess the Twitch chat now too is there is a gameplay video in the works that's basically it's been our focus for a while now. And as far as I know, we're still like I haven't been told of anything otherwise that it's not gonna happen this month, but it is certainly cutting it close. I've seen a lot of progress from the devs, little short MP4s that we share among each other, and Philippe has seen some stuff too.
Yeah.
It is coming along quite nicely, but whenever the dev blog goes up, John does one every month. He'll definitely have information on it, and by information, I hope he'll be able to show us something. But that's the hope. I'd really like to be able to show people more stuff because, as you know, good as the old apartment customization trailer is, that's really outdated now, and getting new content out is pretty vital. And I'd also like to see something else when people are doing the Q&As and they always have the gameplay showing in the background of the old stuff. I'd love to see some of the new material we have. But really, as far as being a community manager goes, I haven't been told anything otherwise. So we'll see what is in the developer blog. If John pops in, I'll try and ask him if he'll be posting it tonight or tomorrow, the developer blog, because I'm very curious
Oh,
myself.
it's almost February.
Yeah,
Oh. Oh.
It's hard to believe how fast time flies.
Yeah.
It's been ridiculous. Like it just feels like I got into the office yesterday from flipping Christmas break. So,
Oh yeah, you guys had Christmas break. Yeah. True.
oh, Kusuke, are my S's that bad? I'm sorry. I'm gonna adjust my mic a little bit.
Oh, that's okay. That's all to be. Delete. Oh, and he's gone.
Delete.
Delete.
There, that should be a little bit better. I'll try and speak more clear, but I think we have the HyperCloud Fury X2s or something. I probably botched that name, but it's a pretty good mic. There's a little ball at the end, but I flip and use an old like $30 cheap Logitech at home, so I know nothing of audio quality, things like that.
I see a few people asking about the module. It's going to release March 21st, and it will be continually updated. So it's not just like a part of the game that's going to get released and just sit there for you to play.
Yeah, thanks for covering that, Harry. He's completely correct. Basically, as the future modules release, they're gonna add some of the features back into Module 1. So at the start, like there won't be a way to access a garage in Module 1 and check out a car, but when we have Module 3 done, which has all the vehicle mechanics in it, you should be able to you won't be able to drive a Module 1, but you'll be able to check out, let's say if you have a pledge rewarded car, you should be able to check that out. And there's also talks of adding a police firing range in Module 1 after the shooting mechanics have been completed in the second one. So it will be updated over time. But yeah, man, I have no idea what you're looking at, Philippe. But
Stats, texture
it's pretty
stats, how
crazy.
big the textures are in the scene, like how many 4K textures, 2K textures I used before. Okay, this is one.
Wow. So you work with 4K more than 2K, or vice versa?
I import everything at the max resolution I have because you can just downscale it
Downscale it?
in
Yeah.
Unreal, yeah. So it's it's not possible to upscale it to 2K texture to 4K, and
Yeah.
it just would look totally blurred or pixelated, and
Mhm.
otherwise it's possible to downgrade to 1K 512 or stuff like that.
Yeah, I see what you mean. You want to build it in as high quality as you
Yeah,
possibly can at the beginning because it's easier to chip away at it, make it,
yeah.
lower levels of detail, lower textures. Um, cool. Oh, someone in the chat is asking about DLC. Really, it's not really something I've been told about. In the extremely far future, there have been some talks and some interest in adding additional islands, but really everyone's just focused on the main game right now. It's very far off to think about DLC. And in terms of languages available, in the modules, it'll only be English most likely, and that's just because we have to get the game like functioning before we have much to translate. We do have a lot of people working from around the globe. Philippe here is from Germany, so we understand the value in having other languages available. Definitely in the full game, the menus and things like that will be translated to as many major languages as we can possibly get. And in terms of having servers dedicated for specific languages, I don't know if we're going to be manually having those, but basically people will end up gravitating towards the servers that are closest to their geographical location, mostly because of, having better ping, lower latency. And we'll probably naturally see some servers form to be like, okay, this is a French speaking server, this is a German speaking server, so on and so forth. That seems to be how things cultivate in MMOs.
Somebody remember a fidget spinner?
Oh my gosh, Philippe.
I just found mine.
You're the memeiest guy on
Yeah.
Asylum. Like, I like it, but like, come on, son. If it is, that's like months and months ago. You should have thrown
Yeah.
a Tide Pod at the mic.
Oh fuck! I don't have one.
We need to put Tide Pods in the first module.
No, no. Anyways, but yeah, that's kind of the spiel on languages. But yeah, shoot, there was something I wanted to bring up recently. Oh, one of the mods suggested this earlier today. I'm gonna try and get a Q&A inside, or well, not a Q&A, an FAQ inside the Discord because it would just make the most sense. Recently, I've been going through some legislative material. Like I added the rules tab and I'm keeping new media updated and things like that. But having a quick, rough and ready way for people to find information about this game would be super helpful. And there's one on the Twitch chat right now. If all you guys scroll down, there will be a quick, in quotes, FAQ with a bunch of frequently asked questions. But I'm definitely going to try and make information more apparent because visibility is definitely something that would be helpful to newcomers. The Q&A on the official website is very much outdated. Some of it is still accurate, but Liam is working hard away on the new site, and that'll most certainly have more up-to-date information. And that's one thing that drives me crazy, just because it's old. Even the Twitter, I have to get this set up, but the Twitter link for our site on our on the identity Twitter still links to our Kickstarter, and that's very old. So
Yeah.
I'm getting on top of that. I just needed Motown to log into it today, and he has the password back at home. So, but yeah, really just making the rounds through social media as of late for the mods and the community manager side of things. Um,
You will not be able to purchase real money or in-game money with real money. There's
yeah, that
just
would be
purely
bad.
cosmetic items for microtransactions and then some apartments.
Yeah, and I believe vehicles is the last thing on the list
Yeah,
too,
just a
but not
couple.
not amazing vehicles.
Right.
When I spoke to the devs about what kind of vehicles you could get through microtransactions, it was more of a thing where if you were down on your luck and your current vehicle got destroyed and you didn't have insurance, it would just be a way to get you, on your feet again rather quickly. But there won't be any super amazing features that you can get through microtransactions. The developers, like I've asked them a lot about this sort of thing, and they really don't want the game to devolve into a pay to win scenario. They really want the PvP aspect of like gunplay and things like that to be based on skill and not just who has more money to shell out.
Yep.
Because we all hate those games. Like it's not good. Um, but yeah, as Grenade here just mentioned, cosmetics, so clothing, apartments, not houses, apartments. There's a difference. Houses are actually on the land of the world, whereas apartments are just kind of in an apartment complex, and there's an infinite amount. There are only so many houses per server, and vehicles, but nothing that'll give you like some crazy edge. There's no super secret, ultra vehicle that you have to purchase. That would be awful. When I play the game, I'm definitely going to be earning things just by playing the game. I don't really see a need for that sort of thing.
Yeah, and as like Kane said, full release price is kind of lingering around like the $40 to $45 range.
I believe I'm gonna go search through my giant archive. And it's, by the way, there's this giant archive I've been keeping up with all of the questions that we've ever asked or ever had spoken about on these streams, and it's kind of like a good source of info. It's a little convoluted, but it has a lot of great information and questions covered. You'll be seeing me link that a lot in the Discord. Same with the mods. Shoot, I don't see. Oh, what would the full retail price of Identity be? There.
Yep.
I'm just gonna post this. This is from I think a month or two ago. It wasn't anything concrete, but if you guys want to hear the devs speak, because they aren't, they're still busy in the office. I hope to get them in soon. I had a few really good questions to ask them today. Oh, Kuzuke also had the same idea. Wow, I guess it is useful. And Nightbot got angry at you. I'm sorry, dude. Didn't mean that.
And generally, like pledging now, I'm not telling you you should pledge, but right now, I mean, full release is only $15 on the website. So, I mean, if you're even like thinking about it, rather than waiting $45 compared to 15, if 45 is what we go for, I mean, it's kind of a huge difference
Yeah,
when it comes to games.
prices. Um, I've also spoken at length with John about this too. And right now, the pledge rewards are set up in such a way that you are getting a pretty good deal. Now, obviously, as he said, he's not advocating to go out and buy it right now. I would
Right.
much rather people wait for gameplay before making a decision like that. But that is to say that with the new website, a few days after the new website launches, the prices will fluctuate a little bit. Things will get a bit more pricey just because $15 for a full game right now is kind of a steal. How much will prices increase? I'm not too sure. And when the website goes up, it'll probably be before or coinciding Module 1's release. I'll definitely let you guys know more about that when I get information. But right now, all I know is that it's being worked on. Also, system specs. We get this question an awful lot too, and it's understandable because if you guys have been paying attention to the new media on Twitter or in Discord or things like that, there's some pretty realistic looking objects. Especially the one that always gets me is when Jade did like the vase and the bowl and things like that. That one is whoa. Like I had a hard time telling if that was real or photoshopped or like fake. So you will be able to crank out some pretty high fidelity. We're gonna LOD the heck out of this game though to try and get it to run on a wide variety of systems, especially with how flippin' expensive building a computer is nowadays. It hurts my soul to see graphics cards like double the price of their MSRP now. Um, and Philippe here
Yeah,
laughs because
it's a little
you
expensive at the moment.
you have an old RX 480 8 GB just
Oh
sitting
yeah,
there at home,
my gold mine. Yeah,
which you should probably, I don't
I
know, you could make a few good bucks off of that.
I didn't check. Wait, let's see.
But basically, in terms of system specs, it's just too early to say because there's still a lot that can change during development. There's a lot of optimization we can improve on and things like that. So giving a concrete value for minimum or recommended is just really, really difficult. But as I was saying earlier, we definitely don't want to alienate users by making the game extraordinarily hard to run. But we also want to give people who have that power to, maybe crank out some nice graphics. So we're gonna try and be fair about it as best we can. And when Module 1 comes out, I'm definitely going to try to build a few budget PCs myself just for fun. I'm not being told to do that by John or anything. I have an addiction to these budget end builds, but I definitely want to see how well it performs on something lower end. And I'll definitely share the results with you guys once I get that.
I guess the 480 is a mining card too now.
Every card is a mining
Oh,
card,
okay,
dude.
yeah. I paid.
For some reason, everything is price gouged to heck.
I bought it at the same day where the release was. And 5 minutes before they were allowed to sell the card, sell the cards, the guy was, no, I don't know what card do you mean. 5 minutes later, he was like, oh, here, you can buy it now. It was 240 euros or so, and I just have a look at eBay. It's like 494, 310, 350, 700 euros. Huh. Okay. Not sure why, but okay.
Huh. But yeah, you're lucky to have something like that.
It's a good
Cool.
card.
It is a good card. Just to address KeyX in the Twitch chat, he says, "Is the 3D software you guys to make objects for free? If so, are we able to help you guys?" Well, Philippe likes using Maya. He's also seen you doing SpeedTree and things like that. What other software do you use, dude?
Wait, let's check my bar. ZBrush, Maya, Marmoset, Unity, but that's only for photogrammetry, for D-Light and stuff. Houdini, SpeedTree, and yeah, Photoshop, Substance Designer, and Substance Painter. That's all.
Okay, I just botched a link, but I did discuss with John a few streams ago. A lot of people want to contribute to the game in some way. There you go, I fixed it, I think. And I asked if there was any way we could do some sort of fan contribution or fan contest thing for the community to get something into the game, and he responded pretty positively. There's nothing set in stone, but it would be cool to host some sort of community event where people could compete and try and get something of their own in the game available to all. But there's also, if you guys want to make assets and put them up on the Unreal Engine store, or I guess it's just Unreal store, people are always looking for assets, not just us, but any game developer in general. And you can make some nice money off that if you make something pretty cool that a lot of people like.
Yeah, it's
So
not that easy anymore. We just
No.
checked it for our company, and you have to fill out stuff and make a little
Yeah.
company, and
Yep.
yeah, the days are over where you can grab some money from the Unity store and Unreal Marketplace. So you have to put in your tax numbers and all that stuff.
Just to make it all legal and
Yeah,
proper, I
for
suppose.
taxes and totally stupid.
And a lot of the programs, I mean, they have student versions that you can use to kind of practice.
Yeah.
Like if you use student versions though, you're not going to be able to upload it to like the Unreal store. But I think since Blender is free by like default, you probably can. But things like Maya and 3ds Max, they cost like, the reason companies use them is to buy the license for I think like around $3,000 is listed on the website.
Yeah, about so.
But you can use like student versions just to kind of practice, but you can't do commercial use with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could, but don't do it.
You probably get
If you create stuff with a student version and somebody with a legal version opens it, the person can see that it's created with a student version. And if they know who made the stuff, it's not fun. They will track
yes.
you down.
Sounds risky, but
Yeah.
hopefully that answers a bit of your questions, KeyX. Although, yeah, man, Philippe, like you must have some sort of courage or something that I don't have, because just being able to do this, to create trees It almost sounds like as boring as watching, grass grow, but you have the snack
Yes.
for it.
Like
Sometimes this stuff is boring too. It's not all super fun and yay trees, woo.
modeling
Sometimes
props
it's
is
boring.
Hmm.
I don't know if I could do foliage.
It takes patience, man.
Yeah. Oh, this okay. So let's open a different project.
So what are you doing there with the funky colors on like the tree pictures?
Oh, the funky colors on the tree pictures.
Yeah, it looks like a vaporwave, if you know what I mean.
Okay. Yeah, I just checked the channel. So every map has a red, green, blue, and a alpha channel. And sometimes I have to invert the green channel on some maps on the normal map because Unreal uses a different direction for the green channel and like
Oh,
Maya or CryEngine or Unity. So that's called Y up or Y down. And based on the
wow.
light on the channel, you can see if your map is up or down. And that's what I was checking. But normally, SpeedWe should know the stuff and export it correctly. And it
Wow,
did.
you can make some cool designs. Like that kind of looks like art right there.
It kind of
Interesting.
does, yeah.
Um,
There are devs working remotely from all over the world. I think is
Mhm.
Jade in the UK?
Yes, Jade is in
Okay, and
Europe.
then yeah, Philippe's in Germany. Most of the devs are in Canada, and then Motown's finally there, but he's from the United States.
Yeah, definitely a team effort from across the globe. It would
Yeah.
be cool to get more people in the office, and that's what we're aiming to do over the next little while. It's interesting because the lease we have with this area, there's a place down the road that has like a bigger office space and is owned by the same guy, and we can just transfer over if we ever need more room. So that is pretty handy. Pardon me. Um, but yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, what are you
I just checked
game maker?
Twitter. Yeah. Where is the
Oh my
boss man?
gosh.
Where is John?
Is that Knuckles on another Knuckles' shoulders?
Yeah, somebody's making a Knuckles game in Game Maker.
Sega's gonna be very upset with this, I think. I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
Anyway. Awesome. Okay, Motown just signaled to me, said he's coming.
He's coming.
What kind of signal was it? Like throw a paperclip at you?
He just said I'm coming, Brandon.
Oh,
Goddamn.
Throwing random stuff.
Oh, he's done that before, yeah.
I heard you're sitting in the line of fire.
Yeah. I'm
All right, hey guys.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Awesome. We have Motown, otherwise known as Sean, one of the founders of Identity here since the beginning, pretty much. So nice to have him on board.
Thank you. It's good to see you guys.
Excellent, excellent. Good to have you here. Now time to swarm you with questions. Just kidding, just kidding. But you being the art guy, you have a lot of insight on this sort of thing with, who has what tasks assigned and things like that. And I'd like to ask you just to warm up a question about clothing, if that's all good with you.
Okay.
This one is just in particular to what kind of clothing types there will be in the game. In specific, someone was wondering earlier in the Discord today if there's going to be baggy clothing options for those who like to live inside their sweaters, like just big baggy sweaters.
Yeah. So absolutely. There will be tight. There will be baggy. All sorts of things. When we are thinking of clothing, the first thing that we do, just for the sake of town square, is we try to come up with as many generic types of clothing that you would see in modern culture as possible. And then from there we kind of spread out into social groups, like kind of like the cliques that you would see in high school. So you got your goths, you got your sports people, you have your the different social groups that you would see represented in high school. Um, and then we try to think of clothing designs that would fit those groups so that we can attract those people to Identity
Excellent.
when they see that they can customize their character in the way that fits their social life.
Awesome. So does this also confirm ripped jeans?
Absolutely. I think we already have some ripped jeans too.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a style a lot of people have been inquiring about, actually. Good to know. Good to know. This one is a bit more in depth, but also from the same person earlier today. They were wondering if you could produce their own clothing because they want to kind of run a retail storefront that sells clothing in particular. And by produce, I don't necessarily mean put on custom designs because we've talked about that before, but just in general, can you craft clothing or make it somehow?
Yes, so you can craft clothing. You can, with a corporation, I think you can even like mass produce clothing of various patterns, and sell those with your company logo attached to it somewhere. It's like a tiny little tag, the same like you'd see in a clothing store. It's just a tiny logo representing the company that made the object. Also, some metadata. So when you click on the object in your inventory, you'll see some basic information about who created it, what company they belong to, corporation rather, um, and like what colors, patterns they chose, things like that.
Okay, awesome. Sounds very good. Um, yeah, excellent. Sounds like a good variety and a good way to let people who want to do that sort of thing with their clothing and sell it. Sounds really awesome. Woo. Let me try and find some more artsy questions for you. Oh, you might have an idea on this. So in the full game of Identity, we're definitely gonna have a day and night system where we're currently thinking, 3 hours of daylight per 1 hour of night. But do you think anything like that will be ready for Town Square? Do you think we'll see that in effect, or is that too early to tell?
I think we'll see that in Town Square, right, John? Yeah, okay, yeah. We'll see day and night cycles in Town Square. We use a middleware called True Sky to produce the effects for that, and it does a fabulous job. So we're really looking forward to seeing night and day change over.
Oh wow, that's pretty good. Good to know. I'd definitely like to see how seamless the transition is. It just sounds cool to have some sort of day and night cycle going on.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, excellent, excellent, excellent. We tick that one off.
there's Philip's famous forest scene right there.
I have
Ooh,
I have a famous for this.
Yeah, I've seen it a few times. It pops
Oh,
it
this
pops up
one.
every once.
Yeah, it's my test scene.
Yeah, yeah. You're testing.
I broke my shader. I don't remember how I did it. Uh, okay.
looks pretty realistic, dude.
Why did I do that? Ooh, I see. I see. Okay.
So I got another one here for you, Motown, if you're all good to go.
Yeah.
How many pieces of clothing can you wear simultaneously? Like, I know you can wear like a shirt and then something over
Okay,
it.
so if I let me I'm doing this off the top of my head, so
Sure.
because I can't log into the
Design
database at
doc.
the moment. Yeah, the design document. Um, but so you have your undershirt, you have your overshirt, which is a coat, a jacket, a shirt, jacket. You have your pants. You have shoes. Um, you you have gloves. Yeah, there,
John should
John.
just join the
John in the
call.
background. Gloves. You have three accessory slots. You have a hat slot. You have, I think, rings and necklaces are a part of the accessories.
Wow.
So yeah, there's quite a bit you can change on your character.
That's excellent. And just off of that, also combining with the previous question of owning a clothing store, is there any way to denote a specific pair of clothing as a combo to sell it together? Like if you wanted to make a particular suit or even like a clown costume, you need certain pieces that naturally form that sort of thing. Are there like combos to clothing, things like that?
Yes, so there are some outfits that are just meant to be an all-in-one kind of thing. So you can just put on a single uh, outfit; it'll cover all of the slots in your body.
Okay.
But yeah, for the most part, it's individual pieces.
All right. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Excellent. Excellent. Oh, someone in the Twitch chat, Ido, Kane already answered this, but in terms of mods or custom script or things like that running on your private servers, the full game is going to offer a lot of customization that we think will really help people really express themselves and take a lot of advantage of what the game has to offer. In terms of actually adding mods in the game, it's something that devs are still thinking about. It would definitely be cool, but I don't think we have a specific answer until maybe a year or two after full release, because right now we just want to focus on making a game that's very fleshed out and something that should make people happy with how many options and things like that we give to players to help customize their experience. Um, because we don't want to just enable mods and let people kind of make the game the way it should be. We want to make the game so good that you guys are happy with it and not have to rely on, community assisted assets and things like that. But we know mods are very popular, and it's something that we'll give a more concrete definition, a specific stance on a year or two down the line after full release, because we know a lot of people do want them. It's very heavily requested. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
pretty well said.
Skimming the Twitch chat and Discord real quick. Yeah. Once again, special thanks to all the mods in the chat for helping answer questions. Super appreciated for volunteering your time. Oh, this one's kind of interesting. I'm not too sure of the lore behind this question, but someone was wondering if you guys are planning to have some sort of body camera or head camera as a cosmetic, not something that records footage. But apparently, a lot of people back in the armor days would run around saying, "I have a GoPro" or something like that, and just,
Oh
just
yeah, I
Yep.
remember this one.
so.
For the sake of roleplay, I think it's a possibility that we might include something like that for those that want to include that as part of their roleplay adventure. You know, running around pretending like they're filming people. That'd be kind of interesting to see. So yeah, it's not out of the.
Interesting. Oh, and someone in the chat is just seeking clarification about the clothing question. Can I match a three-piece suit with, for example, ripped jeans and clown shoes and sell it as a bow?
uh, in some cases, there are like suit jackets that aren't part of like a suit outfit, or pieces of suit clothing that don't belong to an outfit. Yeah. So yeah, there. As long as you can find a suit jacket on the store that you could put over a t-shirt and some ripped jeans to roleplay as a hobo, it's definitely possible. There will also be some clothing that is very is kind of designed for players that want to roleplay specifically as hobos. So, if you just want to dress up like a hobo all day, 24/7, there will be clothes for you too. So you don't have to feel like you have to go find these individual outfits and kind of uh, make it happen.
Cool. Yeah, sounds good. Hope that clarified your question a little bit, Schwado. I have another one here. It's not related to clothing this time, but I think you should be able to answer this one. Um, can somebody peacefully, no violence, just peacefully visit somebody else in prison in some sort of like exchange room where you can talk through the wall or something?
No, you
No.
can't. You can't go to the prison and like try speaking to the prisoners from outside. It's
Okay.
the interior of the prison is kind of like an instanced interior, so
Hmm.
the only way out is to be released from jail or serve your sentence or break out, I guess.
Cool. Cool. Just to reiterate, while we do sometimes use prison and jail interchangeably, they are different locations within the game. Prison is for big well, people that commit crazier crimes like murder, and jail is a little tiny cell you get confined to for maybe 5 minutes
and
max
and
if you commit a
actually,
small crime.
that does remind me. Actually, I guess in the case of a jail, you could
You
go
could
to the
probably just
police.
walk
Yeah,
in.
you could go to the police station and hang outside the jail entrance and potentially speak to someone inside the jail because the jail itself is not instant, it's just the prison is.
Yeah, cool. Good to know, dude. Sounds like people have options, and I like that. I like hearing that. Um, excellent, excellent. This is kind of a two-parter. I don't know if we've covered this before, but someone was wondering if the governor can resign from his position and if the governor can pardon someone to not go to jail or prison.
Mm. Um, I would say it's still up for debate for pardoning, but
Hmm.
they can resign from their position. Uh,
Interesting. Bit of an edge case, but if somebody resigns, does someone automatically fill in his place, or do the elections just begin again for the full date?
I think the elections will begin again, if I remember correctly. As for the other part of that question that I just answered,
Hmm.
um,
Pardoning.
yeah, pardoning. I think it's something that we definitely want to explore, but
Yeah.
it's going to come with testing to figure out how we want to go about that.
Yeah, it'd certainly be cool if the governor had power to pardon one guy, but like if he's doing it to everyone, then everyone keep breaking
Exactly.
the law.
Yeah,
So,
maybe it could be like something where he can do it once a day, um, or once in every so often, or once a term. So we'll see.
interesting. Good to know you guys are thinking about it and exploring, avenues. Fantastic. Cool, cool. Ido asks, is there going to be any sort of XP system like leveling up to do more things? As John has described it in the past, for some activities there will be this sort of skill sticks sort of thing, which is basically a linear progression. Um, the easiest example is if you chop a lot of wood, if you're chopping down trees, if you keep doing that action, eventually you'll be rewarded to be able to maybe chop it down a bit faster. But what we don't want is the game to be like, oh hey, my friend is level 80. I guess I have to grind up to his level just to be able to play with him. We don't want that because that's just really tedious and really annoying. So like right out the gate, you should be able to do a lot of things, and you won't be limited by crazy gaps in experience or things like that. So.
Yeah. We want new players to be on the same level playing field as veteran players, so you won't have to worry about people that have been playing a while having a experience advantage over you because that won't exist.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, real quick one from Sauce the Sage in Twitch chat. Are there interactive animation players to do, like high fives or hugs or rock paper scissors? I think
Absolutely.
so. I think we have one already.
Yes, and there are also consent animations in which you initiate
Consent
and
animations.
yeah.
Uh,
I mean, I'm making that word up on the spot.
okay.
It's not what we call it. I don't think we have a name for it. But there's animations that require the second party to agree to your initiation. So if you want to kiss another player, rather than sexually harassing everybody
Yeah,
you
exactly.
run
Yeah,
into in the game, you can request a kiss from them and they can
that's
accept it,
nice.
and your characters will engage in a kiss.
I like that.
But we do want to avoid you chasing every female around the world, trying to
Yeah, that would not be good.
yeah, trying to
Dang
kiss
it.
every.
Uh, nice though. Nice to know that we have that option with animations. That sounds cool. Sounds like we'll have a bigger pool to choose from if we have animations that involve two people. So excellent. Um, quick skim. This one's kind of, I don't know if we've explored this territory before, but in the game, you will be able to marry another player. It doesn't have a significant difference to how the game is played. It might affect your social status on your profile online in game. You'll have a ring and things like that. But someone was wondering, for a religious ceremony, like in a church, if you're into that sort of thing, are there specific types of religious clothing your characters can wear in the game? Maybe just in general.
That's an iffy one. Like, probably, I'll say that. But
Hmm.
the for me, not only is it a matter of uh, not trying to kind of step on religious toes, but
Yeah,
also it being immersive for other players.
yeah,
Because you shouldn't expect to see a priest, in my opinion, anyway, uh, like kind of robbing a bank,
oh geez, yeah, I didn't
because
think of that.
yeah, because it's just an immersion breaking for me. You just don't expect to see that in real life, and we try to like reflect modern culture as much as possible with identities immersion.
I gotcha.
But that's not to say it won't happen. I think
Hmm.
I think regardless of how I feel specifically about immersion, um, you have to give some leeway in some cases. So it could still happen. It's not. I'm not saying no, uh, but it's possible you'll see some like religious clothing so that you can, for the sake of having an in-game event that
Yeah,
would
like a marriage or something.
would immersively make use of that clothing. I don't have a problem with.
Cool. Sounds good. This is a bit of a jump, but people are talking a bit about hostages in the Twitch chat, and I'd like to ask you, Sean, if you think that there's any room for a negotiator role within the police force or during bank heists, like having someone to, try and defuse situations where there are hostages and you want to get
Yes,
them
but
out alive.
there's not a specific job within the police force for a negotiator role, but it's definitely encouraged. There will be penalties for police shooting hostages during bank heists and other scenarios. Um, and we definitely encourage hostage taking. I think that will definitely increase your chances of successfully robbing a bank because I definitely anticipate that there's going to be quite a few cops responding to every every robbery.
Yeah.
Um, but so I think that's one of those events that you're going to be want to be very well prepared for. That means good weapons, uh, good weapons and good preparation, including hostage taking. I think will
Hmm.
be an important part of that.
And there's not going to be a specific hostage animation where you like put your arm around their neck, right? It's just going to be you kind of control where they go by telling them to
Correct.
behave. I think. I don't know.
I I don't think we have like a specific like outline of exactly how we're going to make the hostage move, but something like that. Yeah,
Okay.
it'll come down to testing when we get to implementing that mechanic.
Excellent. Yeah. Sounds good. Um, and I guess off of that, I know you're not really in charge of the programming aspect of things like that, but just for your opinion, because we've been talking a lot about edge cases recently, even going back 2 weeks ago, that where I was asking about what to do if two cars hit each other, who has to pay for the damages or things like that. This edge case is probably the most prevalent, I'd say, and it'd be good to get your thoughts on it. If someone draws a gun on you and you kill them, are you going to be flagged for murder? Are you okay to kill people in self-defense
If somebody draws a gun on you
and
and
you
you shoot
retaliate?
them, I think
It's
it
hard to say.
does. I think it flags as murder for you.
Hmm.
Currently as it stands. Let me. John, did you hear that?
It's definitely a big thing because we're going to
I
see it a
yeah.
lot with the stress system.
I thought John was chiming in, but I don't
Oh
hear
no,
him.
no, I think he's in
I
another
think he's
call.
taught. Okay, he's talking to somebody else. Okay, but yeah. So I think at the as it currently stands, if you defend yourself, it will count as a murder.
Hmm.
But like, and this comes down to how we can detect certain actions within the game at certain
Yeah.
times. When somebody pulls out a gun at you, how does the game know that? Like, is there a proximity check like, does it occur all the time? Is it really worth sending those packet data to the server every
Hmm.
5 seconds, 1 minute, however long is necessary to detect that somebody's pointing a gun at you? um, I'm probably not the best person to ask that question, but
Yeah.
I think again that's one of those things that will come down to testing. Like, maybe if we get to it and we decide that, yeah, we can send more packets to the server uh, by doing these weapon checks,
Hmm.
whether somebody has their weapon out and is pointing it at your direction. Maybe there's um, like a line trace from their weapon to your character, and it detects that somehow.
Huh, that'd be kind of
And
interesting. Yeah.
yeah, so if we can, like, it's up to the programmers and performance. So I
Fair
don't want
enough.
to commit to it. Yeah.
Yeah, these edge cases certainly aren't easy to deal with, but it's good that we have them up front and we can discuss them. I don't see that as a terrible way of dealing with it for now, just flagging whoever kills someone as a murderer. But it is something that, like, if you really just don't want to surrender and you think you can take the guy who's shooting at you, it would be nice to have some sort of option to retaliate when when you're completely just in doing so.
Yeah.
Interesting though. Um, yeah. Someone asked kind of I don't know if this was a funny question or not, but they were
That's true,
wondering,
Kusuke, by the way. Is
oh,
yeah, you gotta trace weapons aimed at the people because that's how it detects that
oh
your
yeah,
stress is being raised in the
that's
first
true.
place.
That's
So
a
yeah,
good
that's
catch.
that's a possibility. Yeah. So if
Yeah,
that something like that is happening, maybe the same can happen in this scenario too.
excellent. Yeah, it's a good key you bring up there, Kusuke.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone asked in the chat if the healthcare system is going to be U.S. or Canadian based, and I mean the game is based off of East Coast of well, the Carolinas of the U.S. But in terms of healthcare system, Uh, are you gonna have to pay the doctors in order to get yourself outfitted, dude? If you're low on health or something like that?
Yeah. There's some fee involved.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not gonna like break the bank, like it's not the American healthcare system where you're gonna like owe thousands of dollars of medical debt.
So if you die in the game, do you think you'll respawn with a bit of a hole in your wallet then, just a bit to like cover those costs? Or I think that's
Well,
what
if
some
you
games
if
do.
you die in the game, then you probably didn't pay for medical service.
Oh,
Uh,
That's
so
true.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you
So so
lose the money on you anyways.
yeah, so if you die, nobody probably saved you to begin with. So there's nobody to pay.
Fair enough.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but when they do service you back to health, recover you, and you're able to get back on your feet after being unconscious, there is a small fee involved.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. We're already at 4:53. Time is just blazing by. We'll still try and answer as many questions as we possibly can, and we'll wrap things up kind of shortly. John's just really busy today. He's in some sort of conference call or business call, so can't pop in right now. But definitely special thanks to Motown for tackling all these pretty hard questions.
Yeah,
So really helps. Um, oh, someone just asked, what if you can't pay the fee to get healed? I guess you just go around with a broken leg or something.
uh, I guess so. Yeah, you just kind of
It's like in real life.
wobble around for a bit, like uh, yeah, I I can't imagine that there won't be uh something you can do to fix yourself at least temporarily in those cases, though.
Okay, cool. Uh, Another quick question. Someone's asking, so if someone's threatening you to, hand over the money. Can you just do that through a trading system, or would you drop it on the ground for them, or how would that work?
Would so if you're robbing somebody,
If you're being robbed, is there just a trading inventory thing where you can give them money, or do you want to drop it on the ground or something like that?
there'll probably be like um a pop up window on your screen. Yeah,
Cool.
I mean you can still drop things on the ground though, so
Yeah.
I guess it's just a matter of what happens first.
Nice, nice. Lynn in the chat asks, will there be politics like majors in voting? You will be able to run for governor in Identity. The governor has some power over the world. Currently, we're thinking he or she can denote whether or not marijuana is legal. Can also change the taxes that you pay on items to a certain extent, so they can pad their pockets if they so choose. They probably won't get reelected. How the election system works is that basically somewhere in, I guess, like one of the government buildings in any of the towns available, you can go and pay a certain fee to enter the campaign. If you pay a lot of money, you'll be more visible on the final voting booth ticket sort of thing. And basically, after a while, people will go into voting booths throughout the island. They'll pick who they want, and then it'll tally it up. And it won't be a long delayed process. Once the time is up, it'll just shoot the results, and you'll be governor for. I think we're looking at like 4 IRL days. So,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be very interesting mechanic because not a lot of games do this sort of thing where they give one player uh, a bit of extra control around the surroundings. And in terms of what we want to do for the governor, we don't want him to be overpowered, but we also want him to feel like that the role is meaningful and that you are actually contributing and changing something in the world. So it'll be one of the final things that the developers decide upon, mostly because they want the world to be complete before they solidify what he has control over in the world. But it'll be interesting. I'm very intrigued to see if people will follow their dispositions they have in real life, or if they'll just go totally wacky and run as a very strange party platform and see if they make it in. Almost like a social experiment to an extent. Very interesting. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Can you assassinate the governor and take over? If you kill the governor, you won't be able to just steal his or her spots, but I think we might be thinking of adding some sort of bodyguard or like some sort of role to help protect him like they do in real life, I think. I don't know if you have anything to say about that, Motown.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, we're probably a bodyguard of some sort. Maybe a a limousine for them to drive the governor around in. And probably an office for the governor to hang out and hide out in safely from the people that would think to kill him.
Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Lynn in the chat again, will we be able to go skiing? There is a snowy mountain in the south, I do believe, and it's something John would like to add in the future, but I don't think there will be skiing at launch. Um,
Correct.
FPS Bloodraven asks, will there be rules like RDM? In the official server, well, first of all, there's going to be the stress system in the official servers. You can turn that off if you want in the private servers, but the TLDR is that if you try and instigate something, if you try and cause conflict with people, you won't be dealing full damage and you won't be receiving full damage until both of you are at max stress. Basically, if you draw a gun on someone, you're going to be at max stress, meaning you're the most vulnerable, whereas the people you're pointing the gun towards will have their stress levels rise slowly. Basically, you can't. If you see someone at zero stress and you take a shotgun and you try and blow their head off, they're going to take damage, but they won't die from that, even though otherwise they would if they were at max stress, because very unrealistic not to die to something like that. But it's because we don't want people going around and just causing grief to players who do want to have an RP centric experience. Within the world of Identity, there are areas where your stress level will be capped at 0, where weapons won't be allowed, and there will be areas where the stress level will be at max, and it's where the criminals will be running amok for certain things. So we try to appease to a little bit of everyone, but definitely we don't want the game to be total RDM. So we do have mechanics like that in place to help prevent some wackiness if you do want to have an RP focused experience. And as I said, in the private servers, you could turn off the stress system, so everyone will be vulnerable to the max at all times, which is risky, but I'm sure some people will try it just because it's cool. And if they think that their community is, strong enough to abide by no RDM, then all the more power to them. Let's see if they can do it. Oh wow, it's 4:59 already. Okay, we'll take one more quick question. Skimming. Uh, There's a lot of questions now, huh? 89 viewers, thank you all for showing up. It's excellent, and also once again, thanks to the mods. Can't thank you guys enough. Ooh, what about fishing for food, Motown, and barbecuing?
Yeah, it's possible. You can fish for food, so you can get your food straight out of the ocean or river or lake. And yes, you can, in a way, craft that food, potentially by going up to a barbecue and using it,
Yummy.
lighting it, and cooking your food on that barbecue. Yeah.
Do you need a license to fish?
Um, I think you need a commercial fishing license if you have some of the bigger boats. I don't think you need a license for like the smaller, just a fishing pole, fishing rod, and a little rowboat. You're not gonna need a license for that.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Wow. It's 5:01, so we're gonna have to wrap it up now, folks. Really big thanks to Philippe for showing us the environment stuff that he's so good at doing. It's always a pleasure watching the developers show us their tricks and what really goes on within the development process. Thank you to Motown for showing up to help answer your guys' questions. He's been around since the very beginning. Always nice to have the founders of Identity here to help answer questions for the fans. It's always great interacting with you guys, and yeah, just thanks so much for showing up. It's
Yeah, thank you.
nearing the end of Tuesday, and I hope all of you have a very safe and amazing of your Tuesday night or morning, I suppose.
Thanks,
Different time
Mods, for
zones and all
answering
that.
some of the questions that we missed too.
Yeah,
Saw that.
it's very, very, very helpful, dude. Um, but yeah, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And Thursday we have Jade scheduled, so we'll be there for that. And yeah, I'll be posting some more stuff up on the Twitter, Facebook, and etc. The new media I get. I saw some cool stuff today, some furniture that I'll be putting up tomorrow. And yeah, have a good one, everyone.
Yeah, have a good night, everyone.
Bye bye.
Yeah, looking good, Philip.